What is going on, guys? It is Wilson from Function Powersports, and today our video is going to be running through everything you need to know about winches. What size, what type of rope you might need, what the weight of the vehicle you're going to be winching can be, and all the little ins and outs of that. So we're going to run through that so you can be a little bit more informed when it comes to buying your next winch. Hey guys, if you haven't heard, over at functionpowersports.com, we are doing a massive giveaway. We're giving a wheel and tire package away, Anthem off-road UTV wheels and Gladiator tires. Obviously, this is going to be for any of your machines. It's going to be in any in-stock, any size, any model of the Gladiator UTV lineup, any in-stock model and size of the Anthem off-road UTV wheel lineup from them. So all you got to do, head over there, put your email into the little pop-up that pops up. We're going to be notifying the winner by email on 11/18. The giveaway ends on November 14th. So make sure to head over there and get entered to win and grab that new wheel and tire package. So winching is something that we hear a lot about. We see it when we're out on the trails. We always dread the need to have to do it, but the time will come when you likely are going to need and wish that you had a winch. When it comes to choosing a winch, there's a lot of great brands that you can go with. You've got Warn, KFI, Rough Country, all make great winches. When it comes to sizing your winch, the off-road community has kind of always stood behind that 1.5 times the vehicle weight rule. Now, that works pretty well when you're in a Jeep or a Tacoma, where they already weigh a lot, and that 1.5 times gets you from 4,000 pounds to 6,000 pounds. However, when it comes to things like ATVs or side-by-sides, they're starting at a little bit of a weight, and if you weigh 500 pounds, a 750-pound winch might not just cut it. So the guys at Warren Industries put together a little cheat sheet for us so that you can figure out, based off your CCs, what size winch you should be able to go with. So if you are riding on a 300cc or smaller ATV, you should be good with a 1,500-pound winch. Now, like we just talked about, a 300cc ATV is probably pretty lightweight, but that 1,500-pound winch gives you that extra security and insurance. It's probably a little more than 1.5 times, but that's about the entry-level winch. However, but if you are a 300cc or below ATV, 1,500-pound winch should be good for you. Now, on the flip side, if you are 300cc above and you're still on an ATV, and not like the large ATVs like the 1,100-pound guys or something like that, but pretty much right in that medium up to the bigger ATVs, you should be good with a 2,500-pound winch. Again, might feel like a little bit of overkill, but safer is better when it comes to these winches. Having that little bit extra weight clearance whenever it comes time for pulling stuff out or pulling yourself out, whether you're buried in mud, because that tacks on that how much pulling power your winch needs. This might be a good option for you. So the 2,500-pound winch, if you're above 300 cc's but still riding an ATV. The next one up on the list is more of a dual purpose. So the 3,000-pound winch is going to be good for your large ATVs. So like we were talking about, the 1,100-pound ATVs. So you've got a ton of ads on it, and it's weighed down a little bit more. That 3,000-pound winch is right in that sweet spot. It's also the properly sized winch for a Polaris RZR. So the RZR, this is actually the 3,000-pound winch is kind of the go-to for that RZR. You can see it can kind of pull out a side-by-side. It can pull out the heavier UTVs. Obviously, if you're having to winch out of something, if you're having to winch out because you're stuck in mud, when that mud accumulates right around your tires, it adds that extra weight. So having that little bit of clearance there, I think a RZR, coming in under 2,000 pounds, you're looking at a 3,000-pound winch. This gets more feeling like that 1.5 times as we get into heavier and heavier machines. So that's where that off-road rule of thumb kind of plays out. All right, and last up, a 4,000-pound or greater winch. This is for your bigger UTVs, really. I mean, this is a side-by-side winch that you're gonna need. If you're getting buried in mud, if you're a mud guy that likes to just, absolutely bury it, this gives you that extra insurance that it's gonna get you out. As well as, we had big wheels and tires, we had cages, we had add-ons, accessories, everything. That weight eventually adds up and can get you pretty heavy. When it comes to actually needing the power of that winch, you might be a little overweight for that 3,000-pound winch. However, the 4,000-pound or greater winch is gonna be a great option when you've got a big, massive setup that you're looking to get out of something. Next up is a little bit easier of an option to pick from. It's gonna be what rope are you gonna run it with? So you really have two options, either a wire rope or a synthetic rope. So wire rope is the first one up. This is going to typically be made out of galvanized steel. It's an extremely durable rope. However, it does have the tendency to fray or corrode over time. You know, if a cable strand pops loose on that rope and you're handling it with bare hands, not gloves, good chance you might get cut on this. However, this is an extremely durable rope in the sense that if you're constantly having to pull logs off of a trail, anything like that, this cable can withstand that constant abuse of having to pull objects out, be drug across the ground, things like that. So there's definitely a place for this, but what we've seen is a lot of guys are switching over to synthetic rope. So synthetic rope is typically said to be about 25 to 40% stronger than wire rope. It also is going to be a little bit lighter weight of an option, so it's not going to develop those burrs over time. However, again, like we said with the wire rope, not as durable if you're doing a lot of utility towing or a lot of utility winching. However, if you are winching vehicles a lot or you're winching yourself out of stuff a lot, this is going to be the one that you're probably going to want to use time and time and time again because it has that ease of usability, it's lighter. So you've seen a lot of guys switch to synthetic ropes, and I mean, it's pretty clear why. It's just easier to use and you don't have to really worry too much about the corrosion or things like that that the wire rope has. So kind of taking these things into account, you should be ready to go grab your winch. Remember, I mean, for a rule of thumb, under 300 cc's, 1,500 pound winch. Over 300 cc's on an ATV, go with a 2,500 pound winch. If you're in a UTV or a heavy ATV, probably go with a 3,000. And if you are getting buried deep in mud or you have a machine that has a ton of add-ons and it's heavy, go with a 4,000 pound winch or greater. That's gonna wrap it up for us here at Function Powersports. Again, if you guys are looking for some wheels, tires, suspension, or winches, head over to functionpowersports.com and grab yours from us today. We've got tons of them, we've got tons of brands, tons for you to choose from. If you guys have any questions about winches or any type of UTV questions, feel free to reach out to us on YouTube or on our socials. We will love to get back to you and answer any questions you guys might have. Like the video, hit the subscribe button, bell for notifications, so we can bring you some more content that you guys are gonna love. I'm Wilson from Function Powersports. Peace.